Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas? You know, the kind you sketch out on a napkin, thinking this could actually be something. But then comes the big question. How do you take that sketch and turn it into a real physical object you can actually hold? Well, that's the journey we're diving into today.
It seems so simple on the surface, doesn't it? But that path from a thought in your head to a finished product in your hand is, wow, it's packed with challenges. I mean, how do you make sure it's actually going to work? That it can even be manufactured properly? That's the complex road we're going to break down.
And that's exactly where a company like Rheologist, Gaze & Solutions, or just RGS for short, comes into the picture. You can think of them as the expert guides for this journey. They create a clear, step-by-step roadmap that takes your idea from just a concept all the way to a finished product.
Their whole process really boils down to three powerful words: ideation, innovation, and execution. It's like this secret recipe for turning a thought into a thing. So, let's jump in and see what each of these stages is all about.
Okay, so everything kicks off with ideation. This is where you go from just having a cool idea to actually having a solid plan. It's the foundation, you know? It sets the stage for everything that follows. So what's actually happening here? Well, it's all about taking your rough sketches, your ideas, and transforming them into professional 3D models and super detailed technical drawings. This is the phase where you figure out exactly what it's going to look like and precisely how it's going to be built, right down to the tiniest detail. And this is what it looks like in action. They use this amazing software called Computer-Aided Design, or CAD. And just like that, your idea becomes a precise digital blueprint. The best way to think of it is like the architectural plans for your product. It makes sure every single piece is perfect before a single physical part is ever made. Yeah, and this breaks it down perfectly. It's a really methodical process. The engineers start with your 2D sketches, they build them up into these incredible detailed 3D models, and then they create the technical drafts. The best part? This means there's absolutely zero guesswork for the manufacturer. They have an exact guide to follow.
Alright, so you've got this flawless digital blueprint. What's next? Well, this is where it gets really exciting. We're moving into phase 2, innovation. This is the part where that digital design becomes a physical object for the very first time, something you can actually test and refine. This is where some seriously cool technology comes into play. We're talking about methods like 3D printing, where a machine literally builds your design layer by tiny layer, right from the digital file. This is how they create the very first physical versions of your product, so you can finally see and feel your idea in the real world. And here's the result, a high-fidelity prototype. This is an absolute game changer. You can hold it in your hands, you can test it, and you can find any potential little design flaws before you spend a fortune on mass production. It's all about catching those mistakes early when they're cheap and easy to fix. But what about the problems you can't see? Well, that's where RGS uses these super sophisticated simulation tools like Moulds 3D. Honestly, it's like having a crystal ball for manufacturing. It predicts exactly how melted plastic is going to flow into a mold, letting them spot and fix issues digitally before they even happen. This saves a massive amount of time and money.
Okay, the design is perfected, the prototype's been approved, and that brings us to the final, thrilling stage, execution. This is it. This is where your idea is finally brought to life at scale.
Execution is all about gearing up for mass production. This means creating custom tools for robotic arms, special fixtures to hold parts in place perfectly, all the behind-the-scenes magic. And once that assembly line is ready to hum, they can start cranking out your product in large batches, ready for the market.
So, we've walked through the what and the how, but what really matters most when you're trying to turn an idea into reality. Let's take a look at the philosophy that actually drives a process like this.
At the very heart of this entire process is a core belief, a true passion for innovation, and a constant, relentless drive for perfection. It's this idea that you're not just making a part, you're engineering the absolute best possible version of that part.
And that whole philosophy, it translates into a really clear promise, right? Delivering solutions that are not just top quality, but also cost-effective. It means always looking for a better, smarter way to do things. It really is a deep commitment to both quality and value. They have this great way of describing their approach, indigenous design and global thinking.
Now, what that really means is you're getting local, hands-on engineering expertise, combined with a world-class standard for quality and innovation. You really get the best of both worlds. You know, at the end of the day, the technology and the processes are just one part of the story. The real key is having a team of skilled, experienced engineers who are genuinely dedicated to taking that initial spark of an idea all the way to a reliable, amazing, finished product. So, we've seen the entire journey, haven't we? From just a simple thought all the way to a finished product. We've come full circle. And the only question left is the one we started with. But this time, it's for you. Are you ready to bring your idea to life? And if that answer is a yes, well,